selfish, heartless bastard. Hey, welcome to my channel. Hi, this is Shar, and I am your recap auntie here to talk about, well, first of all, today is Wednesday, February 26, 2025. I don't have no golf clubs, so I had to find something to threaten bills with. So, knowing them, they probably do play tennis. Ding! So, hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Hopefully, y'all had a good hump day. Y'all still in here with me. I'm still hanging in there with you. So, welcome to my channel. Hi, I am Shar again, and I'm doing a recap of Beyond the Gates, the all-black soap opera that comes on CBS. And I'm really digging what I'm hearing. I ain't gonna lie, you know, some of the young ladies kind of look alike a little bit, so I'm learning their names a little bit more, and just wanting to make sure that I follow the flow of the show and that I'm understanding it. And I pretty much do. It's a family who's rich and they're powerful, and you always have an arch nemesis there that wants to fuck up stuff. Just want to fuck it up for everybody. But anyway, we open up the show. We have Martin. You know, he's the gay nephew of Danny and Nicole. So he's, I mean, he was asleep, but that's how he was breathing. I was like, Danny, I'm sorry, Martin, what you dreaming about, boy? He wasn't doing the hide like that, but he was just breathing real heavy like. But then we hear some gunshots. So I was like, okay, he wasn't breathing. He wasn't dreaming about what we thought he was dreaming about. At least I thought. Maybe y'all, y'all mind ain't as dirty as this, but I was like, what you dreaming about, boy? So his hubby wakes him up and he wants to talk to him. I split up the characters according to their storyline. I don't go according to the story, but I do save the end for everything at once. So I break them up according to the character. So his husband wakes him up and he wants to know answers about the dreams that he's been having. And he was like, maybe it's about, something that you don't want to remember. And he calls his husband Smitty. I don't know if that was because this was like maybe the husband acting like a detective and trying to get too much into his business. So he tried to give him some type of smart ass answer. So Martin has been summoned. He was laying on the couch and then he's been summoned by his family. Oh, MUMU review, y'all. I'm just all over the place. And he said, I've been summoned by my family that there's a meeting going on tonight at 7, so I need to be there. So everybody's getting the text message. So we see Eva's mom, Les, and she's at Eva's mom with the bone structure baby at the restaurant with the thick assistant. I found her name is Mona. That's Nicole's thick assistant and Ashley's mom. They're all at a restaurant. And she seems to be very sad about, I guess her son had passed away, because she was looking at this young man across the restaurant. She said, man, he looked just like my baby. And it's good that they all are friends and that this girl has somebody that she could speak to about her loss. And the ladies seem to know what happened with her son. And they was offering her some affirmation, some confirmation, words of comfort, stuff like that. So Les, who's Eva's mom, who's the one with the beautiful bone structure, wants to hear all the tea about what happened at the country club. So Mona, who's the thick assistant, she was telling them, girl, Danny went in there and slapped the shit out of Haley. And so we know that you work with Nicole. Was anything happening at the office with Nicole? She was like, no, Teddy, Ted and Nicole was fine. She is so lucky to have him. He loves her so much. And Les was like, I like him too. Like, me too, girl. He chocolate. He's a good diver of chocolate. Yes, I like Teddy too. I mean, I call him Teddy. Ted too. I get it. So everyone seems to be on Danny's side. Everybody was saying, yeah, we don't blame her for slapping the shit out of Haley because she needed it. Everybody needs to be hit out, knocked out. And that's pretty much it, their conversation. And so but when the assistant Mona was talking about how wonderful Nicole is, because Nicole is a really great person, Les was like, that bitch, that's how she was looking. So that's what it read, or like she was looking. Remember, she saw him on the elevator yesterday. She told Ted with his fine ass to get off the elevator, and she saw him. And yeah, but she got some crazy man in her eyes, and I'll talk about her why I said what I said later. So we talked to who else? Vanessa meets with Danny. Vanessa is sitting at a club at this messy Vanessa, the realtor. She was a white lady. She's sitting at the club at the restaurant with a headscarf on her head and some shades, and she's sitting down, and this man was like, I'm your biggest fan. They was doing like some like a role playing, like sex role playing to me. And so Danny comes there like, girl, why are you dressed up like that? I need to talk to you. So the girl, she was like, okay, well, this is my friend. This is him. She's like, okay, he sure is not Doug. So I guess Doug is Vanessa's husband. So that was real cute. But she tells Vanessa that she's going to take a trip to Paris because she needs to get away. She does not want to be in town for this damn wedding. I mean, go out the country, for a little bit so I can clear my mind. And Vanessa like, girl, go. Yeah, good. That's what you need to do. Go spend some money. Go take yourself out on a trip. So she does that. So, who else we're going to talk about? At the house. Okay, that's at the end. Let me talk about Martin. We talked about him. We talked about Bill and Haley had a really small role, like that Danny came in there and just messed up his dresser, his desk, and all the paper went flying, and then one of the pictures fell on the floor and it was broken into pieces. They said it was symbolic, and he was like, he was like, that's that girl, that's her loss. And Haley was like, I miss my relationship with her and Naomi, because I think her and Naomi were like tight. That's Danny's other daughter. And so she said that I hope that I'm worth your loss. And he says, you are worth it. And he was like, he says that she awakened him and she gave him life and she jump-started his heart. And I wouldn't be anything without you, baby. And I'm like, you don't love that child. What's that about? What is that about? Did she really like go underneath that desk and handle you real good, better than Danny? Because there's no comparison. You let your whole like wife and children go for not only just a mistress, because we all know that he's been cheating on Danny. We'll reiterate that, but he's been cheating on Danny forever. So let's go to Danny anyway. Now that we're talking about her, let's talk about Miss Danny. Danny walks in there, so we catch up when she knocked over everything off of his desk, and she says she's mad as hell with this nice, she was telling him how mad she is, and she got on this nice royal blue jumpsuit. Of course she looks good. And then he says, you must be blue because that color always look good on you. That was your favorite color. Get the fuck out of here, Bill. Then he says that, are you happy now? Did you finally get everything off your chest and out of your system? She said, no, not yet. Then she slapped the shit out of him too. Y'all need to duck with Daddy. When y'all just give her too much time. When you see her hair go to her face, duck. Duck, nigga, duck. Because she gonna slap you. Y'all don't think. So Bill tells her that she knows how to put on a show, slapping people and yielding weapons. The only weapon she had was the golf club. That ain't no damn weapon. And she said that's why that's why she did it, because she was there because she was mad at the fact that he's going to move in with that whore. And she says you should have left Fairmont and stay where you were, because you used to live in Eagle Harbor, and he needs to go back where he stayed. And he was like, well, I made Fairmont my home years ago. And got my laptop. I'm just backwards, but that's okay. And then she says it was her money and her reputation that allowed him to stay in Fairmont Crest. And he tells her to get over it, get over yourself, because it was me. I just allow you to stay in Fairmont Crest. We's like, we know that's a lie, because it was her family that let you stay there. And he tells her to get over it. Okay. And he made himself, and that she didn't. She was just there for the ride. You didn't do that, Bill. You did not do that for her. Her family was rich, but without her family, you wouldn't have had shit. You was a lawyer, but you was trash. So Daddy is like, and yeah, she said, well, without me and my daddy and my family, you wouldn't have did nothing. So Danny like, well, what happened? You broke up our family. You left me. He tells her that it's not just about you, honey. It's about me. What I need in my life. And it's Haley. I was like, you. And then she said that he promised her forever, and he said that he had to change course. They were in a lot of trouble way before Haley came into the picture. So she reminds him that, yeah, nigga, you cheated on me. more times than I can even count. She said, but I had to come to the conclusion that some people are just incapable of being faithful to one woman. But because I loved you so much, I choked my pride and pretended that it wasn't happening. I looked the other way. I knew what you was doing, but I just pretended it wasn't happening. That was a good line. Whoever wrote that line, bravo. That was a good one. And so she said, and I wanted to keep the family together. So that's why I chose to, look the other way. She said, man, you had it both ways. I knew that you was cheating and you had your ladies. Why did you have to fuck that up? That was a good setup. And he was like, I guess I got tired of it. He claims that people change and she has to accept the reality and move on. Maybe she can wish him and Haley well. And she says, I never will, you mother sucker. So she says, if I could put a curse on you, that's the curse. If I could put a curse on you, everything you think about gonna fail. Then she calls him a selfish, heartless bastard. That's where I got that from. And she tells him that she's not afraid of his ass, and she leaves and tells Haley that she's not that special because if what happened to me, it's going to happen to you. Remember, the past is just a prologue of the future. That's a good line, too, whoever wrote that. So she gets into the elevator, and then she leans against the wall and on the pole. Child, you better cry. Girl, you better cry. I didn't see no tears, but you better cry. That pain and agony was all over her face. So, yeah, we see Nicole at her office. Ted, find Ted. Nicole is there. Kat is Ted and Nicole's daughter. And Andre is there. And they're just talking about taking a picture about, information about the video that Andre is going to do and how proud they are of Kat and telling about how they met each other, how Nicole and Ted met each other, and they want to do that as an example of the video that they're going to share regarding at Nicole's award ceremony. So it looks like, I guess Andre must have almost died in a plane crash. It makes me wonder, are him and Martin brothers or something like that? And he said something about it was touch and go for him for a bit, and that he takes pride in his family, that his family picked up the pieces where he couldn't pick it up and they helped him. So Kat and Andre just do some catching up. He lost both his parents in the plane crash. That was about 10 years ago. And he travels a lot for his photography. And he gives a lot of money to charity. Hey, my name is Charity. I take money. And there's a lot of small talk. Her name is Kat Richardson. Remember, this show, at least the first week, you're going to know everybody's first and last name. Kat Richardson is her name. That's because he said her name. So she and Chelsea are going to do big things. Remember we saw Kat getting dressed in the background at Chelsea's house yesterday. Because remember, I was like, who is this girl getting dressed in the background? Well, that was Kat, who was Nicole's daughter. So I was like, okay, it's coming together now. So Nicole comes out and tells Mona and Laura, who's the younger assistant, that they can leave for the day because she just got a text message that she has to go to her family's house for this big ass meeting, and they don't know what it's about. So in the meantime, Lady Dupree, Anita, and Vernon are talking about what they need to do and how they need to protect Martin at all costs. And yeah, we don't want to show the fuck up at Bill's wedding, but we have to because, if we don't do it, it's going to mess up Martin's future. I'm like, what the fuck happened to Martin? What happened? So they were really hopeful, and then things turned around when they had Danny, Nicole, and the kids, because they were talking about when they were younger, things were different before they had kids. Kids will make things difficult for you. And they were really hopeful about things. And then when they had Danny and everything changed. So Anita says that if she could, she would kill Bill Hamilton. She'll say his full name. So she tells Martin. She says that Martin has to be protected, like I keep saying, and Danny will have to pay the price again. I'm like, damn, is Martin Danny's son? Because I'm like, what's going on? So Vernon feels bad about adding to Danny's pain, and he wants to call Bill's bluff, but Anita says that Haley has Bill nose so wide open he can't hear nothing, and they keep talking about Martin's future. They don't want to speak about the night about Martin for some reason. And so she asked him if he regrets the choices that they make. And he said, not one damn bit. I don't regret it at all. And she said, me too, baby. And so they look forward to whatever their plan is, whatever that plan is. So I talked about Chelsea meeting the man. Oh, Chelsea was doing some IG posts about herself. It wasn't a lot about Chelsea. And they were just talking about how her and Naomi were talking about how they were disappointed in their father. And Naomi talks about how much she really despises what her dad did because you cheated on my mom. We knew the strange thing about it was that Naomi and Chelsea knew about their father's affairs. And they knew it. And they knew he was full of trash and he had a dirty law practice and stuff like that. So they just did some chit chat, and then they got a text that, Grandma and Grandpa want everybody to come to this family meeting. I think that's it. We talked about Danny, talking about him. And Martin talked about his dream. And everyone seems to be on Danny's side. Vanessa, girl, that was dumb. So then we see this really quick scene about this guy named Randy Parker and Doug McBride. Then they exchanged like little white package. I don't know what that was about, but at least we knew Randy McBride and Randy Parker and Doug McBride. So okay, we know their names. Well, I don't know who they are, but we know their names. So at the house, everybody shows up at the meeting. So Chelsea sits down and they have this spread of food, like finger food, like meats and vegetables and stuff. So Naomi was like, girl, mama better not see you. Is she here yet? She's like, no, not yet. So she had this plate of food, of meats and stuff, and said, Danny walks in. He's like, see, I'm here now. And then she takes the plate out of Chelsea's hand. Because remember, I don't know if you know that Danny is Chelsea's manager. She's a model, IG model, very popular. Because remember, Danny couldn't do it because she was too young. So she takes Chelsea's plate out of her hand and gave her all this vegetable. I was like, you mean. So Vernon and Anita shows up to the meeting. Everybody's there. And they pretty much tell them, oh, no, Danny was like, well, I'm glad we are together because I want to tell y'all that I'm ready to go out of town. I'm going to Paris on tomorrow and I'll be back. I'll be gone through the weekend because I want to be gone through the wedding. And they was like, no, you ain't. She was like, what you mean? So Anita and Vernon tells them that you need to stay in town even through Friday. She was like, what? It's like, yeah, yes, you need to stay in town and go to this wedding. And she's like, that's why I'm going out of town, because I don't want to stay here. I don't want to see that. And so Mama was like, the Duprees will be attending the wedding as a family. And Danny says, damn it, Mama, no. So Mama Anita was like, I'm going to ignore that because the fact that you cursed at me in my house, I'm definitely going to ignore that. So they all are upset about why they have to go and why they got to get married there. Everybody have their concerns about Haley and Bill's wedding. And they said, well, we want you to cut a food because we want everybody to sit there and make them feel uncomfortable. If they feel comfortable enough that they want to have this wedding at this country club, then the Duprees are going to be there and all of our colleagues are going to be there because we want them to feel uncomfortable. So if you need to cut a food, cut a food. Cut it. Do all you need to do. So, of course, Danny was hurt and upset. She tried to leave and her father stopped her and he asked her, look, if I knew that this was going to hurt you again, believe it, I have a good reason and I need for you to do this. So after very little convincing, Danny was like, okay, I'll go, I'll be there. And she does. And so I hate that they're going to make her sit there and watch her husband because she's clearly hurt. A girl slapped not just Haley, but she slapped him too. And they know how hurt she is. And why would you let her be a glutton for punishment and sit there and watch the love of her life, because she clearly still loves him, get out there and watch this girl who she practically raised marry him. And then not only that, her best friends or her former best friends show up there to be at this wedding. But it's to protect their reputation. Money got to protect itself at all costs. So she agrees to come, but she does still feel betrayed. And Vernon says something really, deep. He's like, I hate that she's going to not only feel betrayed by Bill, but now by her parents too. I was like, yeah, that is true. That is true. So Anita said they did what they needed to do. So Danny goes home and changes her clothes into this normal outfit. So she's staring out into space, and her daughters come on like, Mom, what's this about? What's going on? She said, well, I guess we're going to have to go to the wedding. She was smiling about it. I was like, okay. And they was like, Mom, you know what? We can cut a food. And then Chelsea was like, Mom, what I can do is barf all over Haley's dress to make you feel good. She's like, I know, girls. I love y'all so much. And I know that y'all would do it. So, they would do it for their mom. And so Laura, who's Nicole's younger assistant, had been talking about going on this trip with her fiance to this island. And somehow, I think Nicole said that's where she met Ted, at this island. So Nicole, again, remember, she told Laura and she told Mona that they can go home early. So, Laura is driving home, happy. She's a little nice looking chocolate girl, just driving home, minding her business. And so she's driving down this dark road and she sees this motorcycle just following her. So she tried to get out of the way. The motorcycle go this way. She tried to go this way. The motorcycle go that way. She speeds up. The motorcycle right on her ass. She slows down. It's right there. It wouldn't go around her or nothing. So she's getting scared. Doesn't know what to do. And of course, the typical, and she gets into a car crash. And so the next scene, we see this person dressed in all black leather come in. And you can tell it's a female body because they had a camera of its neck down and the curves, So the person takes off the motorcycle helmet and she shakes out her hair. And it's Eva's mom, Les. And that's the one who ran that girl off the road. And I'm like, she crazy. You could tell now she's playing crazy good. Because I could tell in yesterday's episode that the crazy man is in her eyes. I like when people know how to say things without speaking. Like you can see it in their eyes. You can feel it in their mannerisms that she's crazy. And she's playing crazy really, really good. Somehow she's connected to Nicole. She wants to fuck up Nicole's life. Because she wants Nicole's man. I want him too. I want Ted. I want Teddy too. I got it. But I ain't going to run the baby girl off the road. And I think that what she was thinking about was when Mona and them were at the restaurant earlier, how they just kept big upping Nicole, how wonderful she is. Nothing ever bad happens to her. She's the most amazing person. Her husband adores her. Oh my gosh, she's God's gift to this world. They just kept bigging her up. And Eva's mom, Les, was like, that bitch, we're going to make her pay. And she took it upon herself and ran that child off the road. Ran that baby off the road. That girl ain't done nothing to that woman. Ain't done a thing. So this wedding is probably going to happen by the end of the week. And I'm going to be there for it. Not be there for it, but, be there to see what's going to happen because I can only imagine how Danny is going to cut a food. She's going to cut a monkey at this wedding. Or she might not. She might be a little bit tamed, a little bit. But that was it. It was a lot of more small scenes today. And I didn't really write down everything because they even had a part where you saw Laura on the phone say, okay, I'm on my way. That was it. It was like little stuff that I didn't think was that important. Not to say that her segment was that important, but it wasn't enough to really write down. But I really talked about the meaty parts that I remember. So if I forgot anything, feel free to comment them down below. I really do like this show. It's allowing me to be consistent because y'all, mama tired, auntie tired. I'm ready for my show to start. We have about a couple of more weeks. So once I finish with my show, then I can really I don't have to rush to rehearsal. Then I can really take my time and really enjoy the show. Thank God for I don't do direct TV, but YouTube television lets me to go back and rewind it or record it and stuff. So I'm happy about that because otherwise trying to double dutch and record and take notes and stuff at the same time is a little bit, challenging, but I'm up for the challenge. Like I said, 5 days. Anyway, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much to the MUMU review. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of this video, but you know what it is. I forgot my pearls, but maybe I'll wait until the wedding to put on something a little bit more fancy. That'll be cute. So y'all come back for more. I will be back tomorrow for tomorrow's episode. And I cannot wait to see what this wedding is going to be. Haley, you trash. Because you really thought that you was going to go in there and take... It makes me wonder, like how Danny says, did you always have that in your mind to take that lady's husband? Did you always have that in your head to take him away from her? Was you looking at him and stuff? It's like, it's a very typical 1980s or 90s movie. You hire the babysitter, and the babysitter wind up taking the husband away from the wife. It's like, and you're okay with it, and you don't want to move. You want to stay there in Fairmont Crest around everybody. And I'm like, that's not cool. Also, poor Karen Huger. Man, a year in prison. But she had 4 DUIs. I was happy to see her do that little part on Monday, but girl, you got to really be careful, and you need some help. You really do. I was hoping that they would at least let her maybe do some probation, but go to jail. She was actually sentenced to 2 years, but she's going to serve 1 year in actual prison. And I'm like, girl, I feel sorry for her, but you know, when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Take it easy. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.